What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Trailer Park Live right here on the 2nd Street Marvel, where we're coming at you live every single Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or shortly thereafter. And tonight, once again, it is shortly thereafter. Just kind of busy. I'll tell you, honestly, I was kind of busy doing not a whole lot. Kind of relaxing a little bit here towards the end of the year. In case you guys don't know, I do have I have my own businesses, and at this time of year, business is like it's pretty much go go go. You know, towards the latter half of the year up until Christmas, and that's when pretty much from Christmas till right after New Year's. I mean, my business isn't in high demand, so but aside from that, I've got multiple things I do as well, and I started another job as well here a little over I don't know, about 2 weeks ago. So like, yeah, and so it's been fun. Just kind of that's why I haven't been live as much and haven't had any of my comic book review videos or anything like that. Like this week, I didn't even get my comic books read. Now, in case you guys don't know if this is your first time here, what I typically do is I do start off the show by talking about some of the comic books that I pulled for the week, and then I get into the live chats and interact with you all to talk about some of the things that have happened throughout the week. Typically, you know, some of the rumors, speculation, or if there's other things going on out there in the world that are just kind of driving me a little bit crazy. Maybe I decide to go on about those and maybe go on a rant about them. You know, if you've ever been here before, like I do, I usually spend the first little bit of the show here flapping my gums nonstop because like. And I know, like, there's people that come in like, hey, why are you ignoring the chat and stuff like. But look, I get this is kind of a newer thing. This is streaming, right? You know, these live streams are kind of a new thing, you know, because one of the things I always like to talk about and like to bring up is Johnny Carson. You ever watch Johnny Carson? Yeah, there used to be the show called The Tonight Show. It was great. It was phenomenal. I don't know if they have such a thing around anymore, and if they do, it's certainly not the same as it was. But, you know, like, you didn't see Johnny Carson. Like he started his show, he started off with a monologue, and then he went in and did the whole show, brought out guests and all of that stuff. And I mean, there was no live chat. He did occasionally, you know, might talk to the audience, but the whole thing is like you hit the ground running and you go. But I do, you know, I know. I'm guilty of it. You know, plenty of the live streams. You know, I end up being a half hour behind the chat before I get into it. You know, and it takes me, you know, the rest of the show to catch up. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay, because don't you want to sit here and see me go on about all this nerdy shit, and then you just got so much to say once I get in there and start flapping my gums? You know, and you know, if there is something that you just have to get off your chest, you could always send in a super chat, and I could read it. It could be one of the first ones I read when I go into the chats. Occasionally, I do get into those while I'm going on, but, you know, it just kind of depends. Like I said, sometimes I just get on a rant and I start going off on some nerdy shit. That's what I'm going to do tonight. We're going to go off on some nerdy stuff. But there's also other stuff. You know, there's also other stuff to talk about. You know, the one of the things that I wanted to talk about was something I forgot right off the top of my head as I was getting ready to bring it up. It'll come back to me though. It usually does. You know, you sit there and it's because it seems like it's been a while since we've done this, right? It seems like it's been a while. But yeah, I didn't get any of my comic books read this week. Like I said, just kind of a busy week. But I did actually get a video recorded. Channel members, the Myrtle Maniacs, if you're out there, you can go and watch it. I just put it up for members only right now. I was actually thinking about just releasing the video like that, but then I'm like, I watch it, I'm like, no, man. Like, I think, like, I need to edit it. There needs to be video clips and shit in there, right? Stuff for you to see. But then I need to figure out how to get those clips up and on here and everything again. It seems like every time there's a new update on the computer, you know, got to go in there and reset all these settings. Just like, you know, like there's this setting on these phones, like, and every time it seems to update, like where if you hit the power button several different times, it'll automatically send an emergency call. I'm like, no, I don't do that. Sometimes I actually hit my power button that many times because I think I'm turning the volume up on my music while I'm out riding or something. Next thing you know, I'm calling emergency services. That's just not right. Y'all need to turn that shit off. But I don't know. That's just if you ask me. That's just if you ask me. But it has been an interesting time in comic books here over these past few weeks, right? It seems like we've sort of seen a lot of things crazy going on in the comic book industry. Heard different stories going on about different publishers and everything not paying their writers, artists, the creative people who make the books that they put out. And it sure seems like it's a bigger problem than anybody would ever admit to or make it out to be. You always hear all these things like, hey, everything's going all good. It's all gravy. Well, apparently it's not. Not for everybody. Not for some. But I don't know. I think that's just kind of the thing that's going on. There's been this talk for the past few years. The comics are dying. Right? The comic book industry is dead. And largely I've talked a lot here on the channel about these kinds of things and said, really, I don't think it's that. You know what it is? It's not that comics are dying or the comics are dead. I mean, certainly some are. You got to be able to sell the books if you want to make money. Isn't that the ultimate goal, is to make money? Now, the thing is, it's shifting. It's constantly shifting. How you get your books, how you consume your media. Now, the one thing is, we know here, just over the past 20 years, how technology has caught up with so much of this stuff. Take a look at just everything. Take a look at the music industry. Take a look at the film industry, movies. Take a look at, DVDs, how everything used to be physical media. You used to get all your VHS tapes, your DVDs, your laser discs. And now, so much of it's digital. The same thing with music, movies, even things like comic books. Now, the interesting thing when it comes to all of that is that with technology comes the good things where you can just do all your own recording and all of those kinds of things. If you know what you're doing behind a soundboard, you could probably if you were a band, make your own music and never have to get producers or any of those kinds of things if you knew all the right people and could get things done yourself. It's the time. I guess it's really the time of the artist. You no longer have to sign with a record label, sign your life away and let them steal all your money for all your hard work. Same thing could be said for, just about anything. Because all the technology is there. It's just at your fingertips. And the ability to get online and spread that word and get fans, get people interested in your shit, seems to be as easy as 1, 2, 3. And that's where we're at. And it's constantly shifting. So, with everything that's been going down here over the past couple of weeks, I still wouldn't say that comics are dying, but certainly the industry is being shaken up as things are proving to be going the way of exactly the way everything else has. At some point you got to catch up, and that's not to say that everything has to go digital. A lot of people still want their physical comic books. I certainly do. But you still got to keep up with the times. You can't do some of the things that some publishers do. And that is put out books that people don't want to read. You got to put out books that people want to read. And you see largely there's I don't know. It seems like there's a lot of titles, but I was just going through previews, the Previews magazine here earlier today. It just came out this week, the new one. And it's where it shows all the new comic books getting ready to hit the shelves of local comic book shops. And it shows it just browsing through it, it seems like there is a whole lot of publishers, if not almost every single one, except for maybe the big two. Even Image, included with all of these other publishers, looked like the pickings were getting a little bit slim. It looked like there was a reduction of titles. Now, is there? I don't know. Maybe I just browsed through a bunch of them because I'm like, well, I'm not pulling most of these books anyway. I don't know, but I was looking at them like, it sure seemed like there wasn't as many as there has been. Image books seemed a little bit thinner. Dark Horse seemed to not have quite as many. One of my favorite publishers, Vault Comics, it seemed like they only had a couple. I look over at AWA Upshot. It seems like they really only had a few too, but they are fairly new, only the past couple of years, and they usually only have a limited amount of titles out a month anyway, but it did seem like there for a while they were getting a good selection out there every month. But it seems like even they have trimmed back just a little bit. And, you know, I think that could absolutely be a good thing. Because ultimately, you know, it's funny too, because just the past couple of weeks, you know, I was at the shop. We were getting everything ready for New Comic Book Day, you know, bagging and boarding and counting all the new comics and all of that stuff. And I'm sitting there looking and like looking at Marvel and DC and just some of these books, and especially DC over the past few weeks. I'm sitting there looking at all the books that they have, which sometimes is not even a lot, but they have so many goddamn variant covers. It like makes me nauseous. Like I'm sitting there looking at, I'm like, this is disgusting. You've got one book that's got like fucking 10 variants, and that's just 10 that my local comic book shop got. So I know if my LCS is just getting in 10 of the variants, there's probably fucking more of them. And for one book, that to me is just disgusting. It's very unnecessary. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that people don't like these covers and want the certain covers, and there's not people that don't buy every single fucking one of them. But I'm sitting there like week after week looking at like, man, there's not really a whole lot of indies this week. And you look at everything else, but like, look, like all our tables are fucking full of titles, and it's all Marvel and DC just pushing a bunch of shit. I can't remember the last time there was a week the Star Wars didn't have a comic book. And I'll be honest with you, that's probably a good thing for them, because Star Wars certainly needs to put out fucking something good, because they certainly aren't putting out any movies, and the fucking shows they're putting on Disney Plus are goddamn garbage. The last couple. I'm waiting for Mando. I'm waiting for Mando to come back, and I'm not into the cartoon ones. I'm not trying to watch all this Star Wars nerdy bullshit in cartoon fucking format. I'm just fine with movies, and the TV shows are very much fucking stretching it, okay? Just make some goddamn movies. Why can't you do that? I mean, I watched that bullshit Andor, and you know, I still never watched those last two episodes, but I watched that show, I'm like, this should have just been a goddamn movie. This should have just been a movie. Cut out all the fluff and just make it a goddamn movie. But no, you know, they got a streaming service, so, you know, they've got to naturally put TV shows. They can't just put bullshit TV shows on there. They've got to make them to their little universes and shit like that, which could actually work out really great if they were all working on the same fucking page. Like, you go through this Star Wars shit and you're sitting there like, look at the offerings they have for their shows as compared to where their movies are, you know, like their movies, you know, the films, the thing that started what Star Wars is. The universe that, like, the first, like, you might not believe it, but they first came out with movies. Yeah, that's where Star Wars, and when I was growing up, Star Wars was Star Wars. There was none of this fucking New Hope, fucking Empire, it was Star Wars. It was the Empire Strikes Back. It was Return of the Jedi. It wasn't fucking episode 4, 5, and 7, and yeah, don't even start with me. Don't even start. Now it's Star Wars, Attack of the Clones, and la la. No, Star Wars is Star Wars. Return of the Jedi is Return of the Jedi. Empire is Empire. All right. And Attack of the Clones can be like you don't just put Star Wars label on it and that's it. That's all you got to do. No. But the thing is, the whole point is, I'm sitting there looking at all these books. I'm like, this is like, it's kind of disgusting. You got like one, like, and DC's been doing that shit like fucking crazy. Like one book like will have minimum six covers. Like, what are you doing? Like every week Batman comes out, it's got to have like 10 fucking covers minimum. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. You see, so just some of the other things, I'm like, goddamn, like this is an issue number 3. This is an issue fucking 131. This is an issue like what's going on here? What's going on here? Y'all need to fucking chill. And look, like I said, I know it's a collector's thing, you know. Collectors want those covers. People are fucking buying them, so why wouldn't they print them, right? And sell them. Make some money. Of course, you can really see if you're there, you can see where they really make most of the money on, like which ones they do. You know, like some of them they try to push off some fancy variant covers to get you to buy them. I'm not sure if it works, but yeah, there's plenty of them that still do. I don't know. I don't know. That's just if you ask me. And again, like to me, like that whole Star Wars thing, like I don't even, like they're not even on the same page with what's going on. Like I don't read the comic books, but maybe they are actually got something going somewhere. Maybe their animated shows do too. But like you look at the shows, I mean, like look what shows they got. You got Andor, okay, like Andor, like okay, doesn't this take place before, in between the prequels and the original trilogy, right? And like we already seen Rogue One, it came out, you know, like everybody, like it came out, the motherfucker dies. Like here you're just seeing some bullshit that he did before. And Kenobi, okay, we got Kenobi, another show that likely falls in that same time period as well, right? Okay, great. What about Mando? Right. You know, it's like, oh, okay, like it's later. What about Oh, sorry, they don't have any movies. They don't have any movies. My bad. But the thing is, like, where's the? You know, they've got some other shows getting ready to come out too. Okay, like, where's the some sort of cohesion to try to get you to want to watch these TV shows and the movies together? Like, okay, like, man, like, oh man, this stuff's been going on in this show and I can't wait to go see Star Wars episode. Where are they gonna start at? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to go see it because I've been watching this. Like, I watched Andor and I can't wait to see this next movie. I can't wait to see Rogue One 2. Right? I don't know. It just seems like there's like it's just like, I don't know, like they're just like throwing darts. You know what? You know what? They are. They're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. God damn it. They are. And that's not to say that it's all terrible, but it's. I mean, at least they're not DC, right? They're not DC. It could be worse. But anyway, let me get into the chats before we go on, and then after I get into the live chats, guys, like I'm gonna do a little bit of gloating here for some of my theory crafting that I've been doing by just some of the things that I have seen throughout Phase 4. Some of the things that I have been saying here on this channel are finally coming to fruition. And, you know, like, I hate to be that guy and say I fucking told you so, but you know what? I fucking told you so. Why do you think people like Eric Voss come to my channel to hear my shit so they can steal my goddamn theories? I know you did it that one time, Eric Voss. I fucking know you did it. It's all right, Eric. Anyway. I see we've got some great people here. We've got Reefer Man Reviews, my man. We got aggressively relaxing Star Wars MCU-OG Daniel Fisher in the building. Who else we got here? We got RC Scott here as well. Puffing on his little vapor. We got Tim's Talk in the building as well. Let's see who else we got up in this piece. Okay. On your left. All right. Let's see, I'm finding it hard to believe people don't want you to year end, right? I know. Yeah. They do. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do. Yeah, 45 minutes so you see these messages. Yeah, I will. It will be about 45 minutes. No, it won't be. It won't be that much later. I have pocket dialed police while smoking a bowl while driving down the street. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. Yeah, did you tell him? Like, hey man, I'm sorry, man. I was just like, I butt dialed you while I was trying to light this bowl up, man. Speaking of comments, I'm rereading the Resistance Saga from AWA. Yeah, nice. Yeah, did you get this thing? Did you get the? Oh man, that scared me. Did you get this thing, Reefer Man? Did you end up getting one of these? Woo. Did you get that? It's got all of these. It's got all those books in it. It's basically the first run of Resistance, and then it's got like Reborns, and then the first issue of Moths, Erratic, Knighted, the Joneses. Yeah, it's just got yeah. Yeah, you like that 7 Dust shirt? It is pretty tight. It is pretty tight. I got that at the show. I got that when I seen him one time. God, what show would that have been on? I was wondering if this would have been. I can't remember. Because I was thinking if it was during the time when Clint wasn't with the group, and instead not Sonny Mayo, but it wasn't Sonny. Maybe it was Sonny. From Snot was actually doing guitars for him. Yeah. Party over at RC Scott's tomorrow. Yeah, there you go. Make sure you go subscribe to RC Scott's channel. Check it out. Here, let's come on. Oh. Wrong chat here, dummy. Wrong chat here. Yeah. Let's pin that. Go hang out. Go subscribe to RC Scott's channel. Make sure you also go check out my nuts. There's a link there in the description. But yeah. Party at RC Scott's tomorrow for New Year's Eve. Aglac says, "Fuck what people want to read. People are stupid. Make art at the expense of corporate." Well, yeah, I mean, at their expense. But like, if you're gonna make it their expense, it's got to be at their expense. Like, they've got to pay you. They've got to pay you for it to be their expense. If they don't pay you, like, see, that's the thing, is they got to pay you. If they don't pay you, it's like corporate's just getting the money and fucking you, you know? Yeah. I'd be disappointed if Dixie doesn't show he's the life of the chat. Oh, Leafy Leaf, Smoker Tree. Oh, Puff and Vape. Oh, man. Yeah, that wacky tobacco. Save a vape pen for work. Just every now and then. Yeah. Guess Streamlabs isn't working. Oh, yeah, man. Streamlabs, dude. Like, yeah. Don't get me started. Sorry, I think I misread. Oh, okay, yeah. Die Hard is the greatest Christmas movie of all time. Changed my mind. I don't know. You know, like, Die Hard's a good one. It's a good one. You know, and I'm not really for sure. Is it a Christmas movie or is it an Easter movie? Or is it a Tooth Fairy movie? But Rise of the Guardians is fucking excellent. It's a good one. That's a really good one. And then also, I mean, I don't know. Gremlins is a great one. Gremlins is another good one. Elf's pretty good. I don't know if it's Die Hard good, but and you know what? Like honestly, like Iron Man 3 is probably like I like Iron Man 3. What can I say? I think it's a good Christmas movie. Reefer Man, the Reefer Stan, yeah. Always watch Die Hard at Christmas and Gremlins also. Yep, exactly. Exactly. You know what? We forgot to watch Gremlins this year. Didn't get a chance to. I guess we still could. We've got till tomorrow, right? People talk a lot of shit about number ones and variant covers, but if I had a brand new comic at DC and they said, "Do you want 15 variants and a new numbering?" I'd say, "Yeah." Right. Right. The High Republic is where it's at in the books right now. The comics do a decent job of telling High Republic stories as well, but I love the High Republic novels. All right. I have a special video or something coming soon about basically everything DC that I have and how do I get rid of it. Yeah. The next episode, it's going to be called Rogue 2, dummy. Oh yeah, my bad. Rogue 2. Rogue 2. Duh. What was I thinking? Of course it's Rogue 2. What was I thinking? Rogue 1, Rogue... Of course. Stupid. Idiot. How could I not even know that? Fuck DC. Yeah, High Republic is good, says Aglax. All right. Wait, are we going to talk about James let my wife keep her job gun? Oh, man. Nah, probably not. Probably not. He didn't do... did he do anything big this week? I don't know if he did anything big this week. Not big enough, anyway, that I care about. So I think my store had a copy on hold for me. That hardcover Resistance Dilly. Oh no, it's not a hardcover one. It's a soft cover. It's almost like an epic collection. One of the epic collections. It's kind of like that. The larger Star Wars stories is super obvious for us. Keeping up with it. High Republic is backstory for the next big bad. The same one Thrawn is worried about to fight. Jedi Master Rey Skywalker. Rise of the Guardians. James gonna make a Guardians. No. No, he didn't. All right. Oh, look. We got Aaron from Strange Marvel Theories in the building. What's up? Lucas Texvenger. Damn, look. Yeah, everybody. All right. Hell yeah. Got everybody up in this piece. All right. Grinch is the best Christmas movie. Shit is weird as hell. Hey, yeah. My, I know my kids were watching that one too. The Grinch. Yeah. Well, they were watching the Jim Carrey one. Yeah. Yeah. About to load me in jail like my man Reefer Man. Yeah. All right. Hell yeah. Well, you made it just in time. Because I'm gonna get into some stuff. Gonna start gloating about some things, about my foresight into the MCU. Now, I was talking a little bit about this this morning. I did a little live stream, but one of the things I've noticed in the MCU, as if you go back and you watch all of the movies, we got Felicity Poubelle with the 17-month member chat. Says, what's up? Happy New Year to my favorite Toxic Male. Happy New Year to you, Felicity Poubelle. Thank you so much for being a channel member, and thank you to all the Myrtle Maniacs. Yeah. Thank you so much. So, one of the things I noticed with the MCU is if you go back and watch all of the movies and you see everything that's going on, and especially once you have the larger picture, you go from Iron Man 1, clear through Endgame when it was kind of the the climax so far of the MCU, and you look at everything that goes on, and when hindsight's 2020, you can go back and look at all of these little things that happened that were foreshadowed earlier, maybe in conversations that were going on. There's a lot of times in these movies where they have scenes where you'll have characters talking about something going on, and it's really, maybe just something you're talking about in conversation, and you don't really think very much about it. And then later, it's one of those threads that you sit there and you're like, oh, like, holy shit, they said this clear back then, and this is like, is this what they meant? Like, it's gotta be what they, and like 9 times out of 10, it probably is, especially if you're watching a Marcus and McFeely movie. Yeah, not a fucking Russo brothers movie, a Marcus and McFeely brothers movie. Yeah, they're the brothers now. A Marcus and McFeely movie. Because they did, obviously all 3 of the Captain Americas. They also did Thor: The Dark World, Endgame, Infinity War. So they did all of these these different, but so like, especially if you see those, but you go through and you see a lot of the movies and how everything ends up unfolding a little bit later, and it all seems to be that, like, all the stuff that was going on that was foreshadowed was done so in like little conversations. They're like just little things that are going on here and there. And what's funny is, a long time ago I actually had a theory that Nick Fury, I think I actually even put that in a video, that Nick Fury was a fucking Skrull. And lo and behold, later we see Nick Fury is a fucking Skrull. I'm telling you, like, there's just little things that I see and I pick up on. And like I was saying this morning in a little live stream I did, it's interesting because, like, the thing is, like, they base these movies off of these characters in the comic books. They're not really exactly like the comic books. It's like, again, like the MCU mystery meat is what I like to call it. They take the little bit of the comics, they take something that they wanted to do, and maybe they take 2 different things that happened in the comics and they mash them together and they toss it in a blender with something a little bit new, and they give you that MCU mystery meat. And so the thing is, like, you can go look at and see what you can glean from the comics and things that happened, and look at what they do in the MCU and how they adapt and kind of, make the mystery meat to kind of make predictions about the things. And I know maybe it's not for everybody, maybe not everybody thinks that, it's all great. Like, look, I like the theory crafting of it all. And these days, like, we don't even get like these days it's less theories and more leaks, and we're getting to the point where a lot of the leakers out there that are actually doing leaks for these shows and movies and shit like that actually know what they're talking about. Like, they're actual leaks. Like, they're not, and they're legit. Like, a lot of them are like, you'll know when somebody's bullshitting you, but like, there's a lot of them that are actually pretty legit. And the thing is, like, some of these leaks lately have, kind of confirmed some of the things that I've been saying. And some of the things that have happened in the movies have confirmed some of the things I've been saying. Like, I hate to say it about the whole Sorcerer Supreme thing. I hate to gloat about that again, but, like, did I not call that? I fucking said that shit. I was saying that shit for months. Maybe a year. I said it for a long fucking time. Right? But the thing is, like, largely, and there's people that think you can't do this. Look at the things going on there. Like my man Chillmonger, he's a skeptic. He's a skeptic of clairvoyance like myself. He leaves a little comment on that little live stream this morning. He's like, you got lucky this time looking at the tea leaves, is basically what he said. I feel like I should go back and read it just so I can see what this guy had to say. We're going to say Chillmonger's my hater. Even though he's not. Chillmonger's my man. You my boy, Chill! Okay, where are we at? Where's it at? Hey, how come it's not showing up here? Where's it at? There we go. Oh, is it not gonna... Oh, hold on, no. Don't do that. There we go. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, cool. Here we go, right here. Chillmonger says, the adamantium rumor Rumor. Sounds like it wasn't a planned plot point, but something made up now. You read tea leaves and you read tea leaves and got lucky. I'm not giving them credit. And I was just laughing. And then Obi-Juan the homie said, he says, I remember the Eternal stream, and it's looking like you've been on this from the start. Looking forward to what 23 is gonna bring us in the MCM and how the Emerald Tablets are gonna change the game. Yes, we're gonna get into a little bit of that. But the thing is, like, Killmonger is sitting, he's doubting my clairvoyancy. But I'm telling you, like, looking at all of the things, just looking back at the MCU from the point of Endgame, and seeing everything that goes on and everything that happened in those movies and how it all kind of led up, and like there really was, through some of them, there really was more than just these little tiny things tying them together. There was actually things really that were foreshadowing other things that were to come, and that's one of the things when we were getting into Phase 4. Like, I was, like, a lot of people were kind of down on Phase 4 and all this and that, and like one of the things I've said here for a while is, look, like, the first 3 phases were the first floor. They broke ground, they made a solid fucking foundation, and then they finished the first floor of the building. And now it's time to make the second floor. So they've got to kind of start all over again. And if you look at a lot of the things they've done in Phase 4, it really kind of seems like they're starting all over again. They've kind of had some stumbles. Largely, I would say most of those stumbles, people would probably say that they don't like, largely come from the TV shows that they've done. Because, like, looking at the movies that they've done, like, I can't say I'm wholly disappointed in all of them, aside from maybe Thor, Love, and Thunder. I haven't watched Wakanda Forever, so I can't really say about that one yet, but there's no way it can be as bad as Thor, Love, and Thunder. Can we just call it Love and Thunder? That's all I ever like to call it. But the thing is, like, getting into, I think even the Black Widow actually has some stuff in there as well. But not only that, you get into the Eternals, you get into Shang-Chi. There are some things that happen in these particular films that are really setting up some stuff for the future. Obviously, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness as well had and did a lot of things that are going to have effects throughout the MCU, and more of those things came out in some of these TV shows as well. I know largely the TV shows haven't been the greatest, and there are still I guess fruits to be had from these from what happened in a lot of these movies and these TV shows. And that's one of the things I've been saying is like it's all gonna go somewhere. You're gonna see, like, everybody's talking down like and look, I'm not defending a lot of these things and saying they're great, because like a lot of them aren't really that great. Like, I like the Eternals. I think it's actually a pretty good movie. Like, it's a little long in the tooth, but I think it's actually pretty good. Shang-Chi, I think, is a good movie. It really is up there. But then some of the others, they seem, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, they're just not the best, They're not all bangers. But if you go back and look at the first 3 phases, they're not all bangers. But there's more than not. Now, the thing is getting into Phase 4 is, like I said, it's largely planting seeds for things that are going to come to fruition just a little bit later down the road. We just got to have a little bit of patience. Get through this Phase 4, because believe me, it's been rough. It's been hard as hell. It's been hard as hell getting through Phase 4 so we can get to Phase 5, so we can start to see the fruits of our labor. Or their labor. I guess it's our labor. We're right there with them suffering. But the thing is, it's all got a point. And I'm telling you, a lot of the things that are going to happen, like, there's some more things that are going to happen that I'm going to tell you that are going to happen in just a few minutes. There's some things that are going to happen that I'm not shitting you. Some of it I kind of predicted, The rest of it, I'm going to tell you later. I'm going to tell you how it's going to come out. Just from some of these new rumors that have come out regarding the MCU. But let's get here into the live chats before I get into all that, because you can see I'm already going a mile a minute. See what everybody's saying here. We got my man Lucas Texvenger with a $20 super chat. Says Happy New Year's to the best community. Yeah. Now shake them titties. He wants. You know what? I don't know. They're getting a little bit. They're getting a little bit more solid now. They're getting a little bit more solid now. Losing a little bit of the flabbies. So they might not kind of shake like there was. Oh, thank you so much, Lucas Texvenger, for the $20 super chat. Greatly appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Doctor Strange Grinch was a solid remake. What? Okay. We got Rahul here as well saying Thor talking about Infinity Stones. What? Who's talking about Infinity Stones? What are you talking about? Bought and owned nowhere. I haven't seen that Guardians thing either. When they have 9 minutes left here on the East Coast until tomorrow. Clemson is so frustrating. What is that? What's a Clemson? What's a Clemson? I don't know what that is. What's a Clemson? When they have go Vols. Want someone else to go there and say, love what you done with the place. What? Did I miss something there? Love what you done with the place. I'm missing something there. It has to do with, I know yeah. Quit complaining about the MCU! Yeah. ADD just kicked in. That's, no doubt the straight up smoking. Yeah. Can't spell scroll without Kroll. You can't. Not at all. You missed, yeah. Tennessee came to play Clemson. Oh, okay. Is that a foosball? Get 3 rising and winning. You'll put me out of business. Yeah, I know. I will. Henry would have had the best delivery, but Grandmaster would be ironic too. Maybe the latter should ask for apartment.com. Mystery Meat. That's the name of Trends only Myrtle fans page. Yeah, Mystery Meat. MCU Mystery Meat. That's good. That should be it. Yeah. Maybe I should. You know what? Maybe I should make a new channel. That should be the name. MCU Mystery Meat. I like that. Mike. I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know what that is. Yeah. Most of the time you are wrong. No, they're not. Not the big ones. But a lot of them have come true. I mean, some of them haven't. But there's been a couple of them that have. And there's what this shit going on right now is MCU is your daddy. Oh, Mike Porter, that's funny. I hope you're doing well, Mike Porter. Speaking of theories, I'm hoping Deadpool 3 Hugh Jackman stage actor meets Deadpool and mayhem ensues. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, more Werewolf by Night. Yeah, Mark Spector was teased in Winter Soldier and paid off in Moon Knight. Yeah. You know everything. Yeah. Feige loves you. Yeah. I think, you know what, maybe, if Chillmonger was right, that means that the MCU came and stole my shit. They came and stole my ideas. Like, so like, maybe Chillmonger's right. Maybe they didn't actually have it planned, but they actually went and watched my video and they're like, holy shit, this motherfucker's right. Cersei can transmutate, like, fucking A. That's our shit. We're gonna steal that shit. And you know what? Trinity will be right, and nobody will ever know. And Chillmonger will doubt him. That hurts Chillmonger. Trent doesn't consider Spider-Man No Way Home as a movie. Yeah, it's largely inconsequential. It's largely inconsequential to a lot of the MCU. Go watch any of them. Most of them are inconsequential. Like, they're very loosely connected to the MCU. Because like the multiverse stuff that happens in No Way Home, the shit you get out of Multiverse of Madness anyway. So, you know, MCU didn't stumble. What is that? Fee Fi Fo Feige? Fi Fi Fo. Oh yeah, Fee Fi Fo Feige. I smell the blood of Mike the Stand Show. What? Yeah. MCU shows, not great. Your opinion. All of the MCU is bangers, says Mike. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, Mike Porter is here. Oh. Mike Porter's on one. Mike Porter's on one tonight. Take a page from my book. Hey, Trinity. Yeah. Landon TLB, thank you so much for being here. This year was 10 and 10. For me. Great stuff happened. Nice. All right. Yeah. Hell yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Because, had fun in your fitness journey. Yeah, nice. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. I think 2024 MCU looks the strongest. Yeah, I think it's getting ready to pick up. Thor 4 is beautiful, looking at healing after tragedy delivered through clever core lens. I've never seen a bad Marvel show, and all the people who claim they have always have opinions on the next. Oh, Aglax. Yeah. Also, go dogs. What? What are you talking about? Been bulking a bit. It's one of the last day of bulking. Now time for the cut. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You're gonna have your beach body on, huh? There you go. Like RC Scott, I pinned it in the comments. Dude. I pinned it in the comments. Okay, I pinned it. People can see it, y'all. You just look at the pin. Yeah. Daniel Fisher, you want to see me trigger Trinity? Don't you start, you son of a bitch. I know what you're gonna say. Yee! Oh, see, I told you the pin. Marvel will never steal from a toxic male. That would be problematic, but they are cheap bastards, so they will steal from. Yeah, they will. I'm telling you that if they didn't have it planned, like Chillmonger says, they may not. You know what? Maybe Chillmonger's just trying to give me my due. Maybe he's just trying to give me my credit. He's just trying to say, you know what? Fuck that. They didn't have it planned. They took the plan from you, Trinity. I think that's what Chillmonger's saying. I think Chillmonger's saying, you know what? Fuck these people. They killed T'Challa, and they stole my boy's fucking theories and put it in their movie. Yeah. Fucking A. Shouts out to you, Chillmonger. You the man. Oh. But you're right, Felicity. They do. They need somebody to breathe some life into that shit. And Feige's like, yeah, look at this guy. This guy does know his shit. He does know his shit. Arishem planting seeds for Galactus. It very well could be. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, okay, so getting into some of this stuff, some of these theories and things that I was talking about before. I got a video, just got to get edited. Like I said, channel members, you can go check it out. But one of the things is they got these leaks. Josh over the Den of Nerds did this video the other day. I actually even did a live stream about it, talking about all of these different leaks. And there's other shit that goes on with Kang that I think is very fucking related to all of this shit as well. Coming out of Loki, going into season 2, a lot of different shit that all ties together, and it's all still revolving around this celestial technology that was all introduced in the Eternals movie. But the big rumor that actually just came out here, I guess it was just here over the weekend, was that Wolverine is supposedly going to make an appearance, or might be teased or something, in the upcoming Captain America movie in New World Order. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. It was New World Order. Like, and the thing is, like, if he's in there, my guess is it's probably just gonna be like a tease. He's probably not gonna be in the movie full fledged all out, and like we're gonna get Weapon X or fucking any of that. I doubt that. I really doubt that's gonna be the case. I could be completely wrong though. I could be completely wrong, but I just have a feeling like if they're just gonna introduce, like they're probably just gonna tease, and then it's gonna go from there. But largely, this rumor is that Wolverine should make an appearance there, and the adamantium is actually coming from the island of Tiamat. Now, this was something that I didn't predict. I didn't predict that it would be from Tiamat. The island, the celestial that was being born out there. But apparently the rumor is that the military is going to go after these, just different governments are going to go after this to try to stake this claim of this land. And there's obviously something going on there, and apparently they're saying that this is going to be tied to adamantium. That's kind of where it is going to originate from here on in the MCU 616. And the thing is, because what you see in the movie The Eternals is that Cersei actually went and transmutated the Celestial into a different, whatever it was. Like, if you watch the movie, it looks like rock or just like an ice. It looks like a giant iceberg, kind of, right? It looks just like a giant iceberg. So I don't know. I mean, is it what exactly it is? But she transmutated whatever it was into that, right? And so to me, when I heard this rumor, I'm like, that absolutely 100% makes fucking sense to me, because her transmutating shit is exactly what I was talking about in my theory before. If you go back and you watch the Eternals movie, and that was my theory, is that there was the adamantium was essentially teased there, and like, maybe did we get a tease of Wolverine as a kid in the movie? Maybe the kid that she handed the dagger to was the kid that goes on to be Wolverine, and he's been that old. I'm just guessing. I'm just saying. I doubt it. I doubt it. I'm just throwing that out there. But the thing is what I was saying was that Cersei showed up when they showed up there on Earth in Mesopotamia. Before whatever it was, like 5,000 BC. She showed up there. And she transmutated that dagger into, well, I was thinking essentially gold. I was thinking it was gold. And maybe it's not gold. Maybe she actually transmutated that thing into adamantium. Now, the thing is where I started to think about and see some of this stuff. And this is really largely what ties a lot of the MCU together from fucking phase 1 Iron Man clear until where we are in the MCU right now. Is these exact things. It was one of the things in the movie that we seen was Makkari was looking for the Emerald Tablet. By the end of the movie, we seen she actually had the Emerald Tablet. Now, the Emerald Tablet is this hermetic text that basically has it's like this philosophy is what it is. It's pretty crazy. But within this philosophy is basically like the fucking meaning of life and how to essentially ascend and become a fucking god. Now, and so like it's pretty interesting shit. But the thing is, like, the Emerald Tablet is basically looked at as the basis for alchemy. These alchemists that were out there trying to, just doing their fucking thing, right? And what they were doing is trying to make the Philosopher's Stone. Okay? Now, the Philosopher's Stone is something very interesting as well. Now, the Philosopher's Stone is this thing. It's basically like a liquid that, like, it would turn base metals into silver or gold. And then, also, you could take it. It was also called the elixir of life. You could drink it and it would heal the body or even grant one immortality. Right? And I was looking all this up. I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. Because, like, that sounds like you could turn a base metal into gold or silver. It sounds like you could probably maybe take something like gold or silver and upgrade it to something better as well. Or maybe something like vibranium and make it into something stronger as well. I don't know. But regardless, also just it being the elixir of life that can heal all wounds and possibly grant one immortality. That sounds like fucking Wolverine if you ask me, but hey, that's just if you're asking me. And this was the basis of the theories that I had previously that are actually coming to fruition, because we see that Cersei was there. Basically, she's essentially this living version of the Philosopher's Stone. She turns these things into other things. We've seen, when they were having the earthquake in the beginning of the movie and that stone was getting ready to fall on that kid, and she went and she touched it and turned it into fucking dust. With the same thing. Remember, she touched that deviant as well. She turned him into a fucking fountain. Remember? And remember that fountain? It kind of looked like ice. Was that adamantium too? Did she transmutate that into? And what happens when she touches a person? She's essentially the Philosopher's Stone. Now, I will say, the Philosopher's Stone, the Emerald Tablet, these things were all the basis for alchemy. Now you get into alchemy. That's the other interesting thing is, basically alchemy is kind of what essentially became known as doctors, right? And not only that, I would say it was back in those days, it was probably a little more cryptic than that. You probably could have been looked at as magicians as well. Maybe even snake oil salesmen, depending on who you are. But the thing is no. Is it back? Oh, are we? I think we are. We're back. Are we back? I think we are. I think we're back. Are we back? We're back. Are we back? There we go. Are we back? We're back. Are we back? I'll assume that's yes. All right. All right. Good deal. I don't know what happened. All I know is I was sitting here, and I noticed the screen kind of flashed a couple times. I'm like, what's going on? What? All right. By the way, look, here, give me a second. There we go. Look. Look at these things. See these right here? Yeah, see those? It's chocolate peanut butter pretzels. Look. Little peanut butter filled pretzels. Covered in chocolate. Come on, get the thing, not me. There you go. Right there. You can order them. Oh, it's not to upgrade my shit. It's just the internet. When the modem just decides to reset, what do? Oh, they are. Oh, that's great. Chocolate covered. If you've never had Mountain Man chocolate, it's the best. It is really good. Now, where were we? Send some to India. So where were we? Where was I when it froze up? Oh, I know, James. I just, I know. I'm just kidding. So where was I? And flapping my gums. Where was I? I don't know where I was in my rant. I mean, I was definitely talking about the Philosopher's Stone, alchemy, and how essentially... Okay, yeah. Alright. Perry Gaming, thank you so much for being here. Alright. Yes. Alright, James, thank you. Rahul remembers. He remembers. So basically what is going on is like alchemy was basically looked at as like basically people making like potions, like wizards and shit like that. Sort of like magicians, magic, like, and you would say nowadays that's what science is based off of, medicines and things like that to cure illnesses and different things like that. But people are always out there looking for the ultimate thing, right? To upgrade their bodies. You know, you got people doing testosterone, hormone replacement, and different things like that to live longer, to do better. And that's basically largely what a lot of the alchemy is kind of based in, is exactly those kinds of things. Now, it was probably a little more archaic and medieval back then, as opposed to thinking about like scientists and, you know, like medicines and stuff like that now. But it probably really wasn't. It might have actually been better. Who knows? You know, with the stuff they're pumping people with nowadays. Not through even drugs, but additives in your food and all that other kinds of bullshit. But regardless of anything, the whole point is like, the Philosopher's Stone, or in this case, the Emerald Tablet, was looked at as this text that people were doing to use to do science, or to basically do sciencey kind of things. And you know how Thor kept saying, like he said, like science is magic, and that's kind of what we're getting at here. Is if you get into the Emerald Tablet and exactly what that is these scientists, these alchemists, were trying to make something to upgrade their gold things into gold or silver, or trying to heal the body so it's more resilient. Where basically some philosophers came along a little bit later, maybe around the same time. We're sitting there looking like yeah, you know, like they're chasing down like these accolades in like these scientific ways. But what if they took the philosopher, like if they took the idea of the Emerald Tablet and turned that philosophy, instead of trying to create the Philosopher's Stone and do other things, look at it as yourself, you know, turn that philosophy inward. And the philosophy, and the whole thing about the Emerald Stone is exactly what it's saying. It's essentially man trying to essentially become a god. And it's very interesting stuff by the time you get into the philosophy and everything of the Emerald Tablet. And it's only like 17 lines long. It's not very long. I can't remember how exactly how long it is. I got a video that I shot and recorded already. But that's basically what it's all dealing with. So you think about that, and then you think about what Cersei did in the Eternals, and if she went and touched somebody and transmutated into something, like maybe she changed their DNA, or maybe, just maybe, the mutants end up becoming that next step in human evolution. You know, they have that X gene, right? And it all kind of stems from this same thing, where we've seen like Erisham, who was there planting the seeds that like I think has been theorized too. Somebody even mentioned earlier, like maybe he was planting seeds for Galactus to come through and consume later, and which I mean would kind of make sense. I mean, they made the deviants ended up coming up out of that as well, and I think the deviants may have something to do with a lot of this stuff too. Because remember the deviant, whenever he went and killed, which one was it that he killed and absorbed their essence, it became smarter and more human-like. So there's just a lot of things that happened in that movie that pertain to essentially mutants. I mean, we're talking about essentially mutating people, changing their DNA, their structure, and that's exactly what happened when she transmutated that dagger into what we would think was gold, and then obviously with Tiamat later at the end of the movie into something else, which is apparently being rumored to be adamantium. Now, how all of that ties into the larger MCU and even with the mutants is the fact that the mutants are the next step in human evolution. But not only that, and that would be also due to things like essentially man becoming God, like the Philosopher's Stone was saying, like they were saying, take the philosophy and turn it in on yourself. And if you go read the Philosopher's, or not the Emerald Tablet, like the movie The Eternals is basically a movie version of exactly what the Emerald Tablet says. If you go read what it says, and that's, I mean, it's just kind of an adaptation of it, really. And that's the interesting thing is, so you got the next step in human evolution. So what else is there? Is exactly what the guy was saying. If you turn it in on yourself and essentially become a god, you would be basically like the mutants. However, and you would be able to have powers. Now that's the thing, right? See that's the thing, is because like where you see, and this is where it ties into to even like Tony Stark and a lot of the first few phases of stuff, is the fact that alchemy and all of these different things, like modern science and medicine, is basically started in alchemy and is rooted in something like the Emerald Tablet, right? Now, what were they doing essentially with the Emerald Tablet is they were trying to come up with the elixir for life. They were trying to come up to ways to heal ailments and upgrade your body, possibly grant immortality, upgrading, transmutating metals, trying to upgrade everything, right? Now, if you take a look at Tony Stark and exactly what he did with the Iron Man armor, what's he trying to do? He's essentially trying to turn the body and, use it, make an armor for the body and use it as a weapon. What else was there? There was, exactly, the great Dr. Arnim Zola, who created that element that Tony Stark studied and recreated. I'm looking at you, Aaron, from Strange Marvel Theories. You take a look at that, and that's something else. They were trying to find something, an endless power source. They were trying to find something to basically find a limitless power source, where Tony Stark eventually was something that ended up saving his life, because it was a resource that could keep burning and pulling all of the shit out of his body, right? Remember in Iron Man 2 when he created thought he created that new element? That's exactly what he's doing. But essentially, he's created repulsor rays and all these different things. He created a suit of armor, right? And look at what Vision was. What was Vision? What they were trying to do there. And Ultron. all these robots is essentially trying to find a way through technology. And I think the Emerald Tablet could be applied to technology as well, but trying to find ways to create a suit of armor around the world, to create robotics, to create sentient technology and weapons like the Vision and different things like that. And I think that's where a lot of this ties in. It's basically the race for survival that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to become the race for survival for mutants and humans who's going to be at the top of the evolution of the food chain. And then also you think about that, they're going to go bigger. Who's beyond that? Obviously, we know Arishem is out there, right? We know there's Celestials. They are the bigger fish. You want to upgrade to become that god. And how do you do that? Through all the science, through all the technology. That's what they're doing. That's what they're setting up. And it's crazy. And it all comes back to a lot of that stuff there regarding the Emerald Tablet. And that's where a lot of it comes from. Now, how does this play into, say, other things, right? Take a look at Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings. I believe those 10 rings, and that was something I came up with a long time ago, is that those 10 rings are celestial technology, same as those, as the bangles that Ms. Marvel had in her show. I think those are based on the same technology. I think it is celestial technology. Now, how does that relate to everything? Well, you see, if you look at them, they kind of look like gold. They kind of look like gold. Are they gold? I don't know. You tell me. Because it makes me think that maybe they're made out of the same thing. If you take a look at what in the Eternals and you see what the Eternals were made of, you know, when they show their kind of robotic bodies or whatever and they're all being put together, what did they look like? They looked like gold. So I think it's very interesting thinking about that, thinking about things like the Vision and how all of that is playing this role in like the humans in the race for survival, essentially. Very very interesting how all that works out, the evolutionary scale, if you will. But then taking a look at all of this stuff, thinking about exactly what the super soldier serum is, right? And this was something that I was talking about as well, where the super soldier serum, which I believe I believe Dr. Erskine probably got a hold of the heart-shaped herb, or maybe was able to recreate its power, be able to recreate what the purple heart-shaped herb does, and with his own concoction, obviously, because you could see that they used the purple heart-shaped herb in Wakanda, and it basically granted the Black Panther all the same powers that Steve Rogers has. Speed, agility, and, you know, maybe not the eternal youth thing. I mean, you know, did it? Maybe it did. I don't know. But the thing is, it did the same thing, and I believe that's what Dr. Erskine did. Now, that is the humans trying to upgrade their bodies, trying to create super soldiers. When you look at what's going on with the Eternals, again, that comes back down to with the philosophy of the Emerald Tablet. When you look at the Thunderbolts getting ready to come up, who do you essentially have there on that team? You have a bunch of super soldiers. Now, it's also being rumored that in the upcoming Captain America movie, that Red Hulk will be in the movie, and it's going to be Thaddeus Ross. He's going to be the president, and apparently he's going to be running experiments to try to recreate the super soldier serum. And I don't know, maybe that's how he becomes the Red Hulk. I don't know. I mean, it just seems to make sense, right? But obviously, he's been looking for that. He's been wanting to, I mean, they created the Abomination, right? So we know it's something that he's been on the hunt for. So seeing him become the Red Hulk is no surprise. Seeing him trying to recreate the super soldier serum is no surprise. it's being rumored that he will be the Red Hulk in this upcoming Captain America film, right? Interesting. Super Soldier Serum. And the elixir of life. Similar to what the Philosopher's Stone would do. Now, taking a look beyond that, it is also rumored that Valentina Contessa, whatever her name is, she apparently in the Thunderbolts movie is going to be creating the Sentry also. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about the Sentry from the comic books, and to be quite honest with you, like I said before, is it really don't matter anyway, because the MCU really takes and just kind of loosely does a lot of these loosely bases their movies on that shit. The MCU mystery meat. So the thing is if Val has that Sentry serum, if she's creating that, what is it? Okay? Where did she get it? The Sentry. Okay, now the thing is, like, this Sentry serum that she has, if she's gonna give it to whatever his name is, Ralph Roberts, Robbie Robertson? No, I can't remember the character's name who becomes a Sentry. Right now, the thing is, if she has the Super Soldier Serum or she has the Sentry serum, where did she get it? Well, I mean, it seems pretty obvious where she got it, right? Probably the Power Broker, or maybe she is the Power Broker. Who knows? The thing is if you go back and you watch Captain America, or if you go back and watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, in that show, they literally showed us how there was other experiments trying to recreate the Super Soldier Serum, and how that doctor that was there in the show recreated it. He recreated the serum. Now, the thing is what did he say? There was issues with some of the previous versions where people were going crazy, people were going mad. Sound like something that might happen with Sentry? But supposedly he broke the code and found out how to do it. That's where we got John Walker. He got the serum. That's where Carly Morgenthau and all of those other few what were they again? The people with the hand? Were they the hand? With the world smashers, the world breakers, the world. We are the world. We are the children. Those people. They had the same serum as well. But that was one of the things he said, is like, it was kind of unstable in some patients. And it seems like if they have something else, that, maybe they got a hold of that. Maybe they got a hold of his serum and, improved on that, or tried to. So I think like, the Sentry serum will essentially come from the same guy that we were introduced to in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And because he was obviously, he said in the show he only had 20 vials. He only had 20 vials, and Carly and them got away with him. But what's he there in the lab working on? He had already made it. He knows how to make more. So what was he in the lab making? He's just something else? He's working on the coronavirus. He was. Oh, actually, I mean, that was the original plot of the show. So, maybe who knows? Maybe he was. But I mean, thinking about what they did, how they pivoted and sidestepped with a lot of that stuff, he was probably there trying to recreate a serum or improve upon it. That's where she would get the serum to give the Sentry. And that all time, that's where you get the Red Hulk, you get the Sentry, all coming out of base, and all of it based on what? The Emerald Tablet. The Emerald Tablet. And so I think that's where a lot of it's going to go to. And that's where a lot of it's coming from. Now, the other thing is there's some other stuff going on as well. Yeah, Robert Reynolds. There we go. I was close. We got Romeo in the building. Romeo, are you on another account? Didn't I see you on another account this morning? Yeah, well, the Suicide Squad is very different from the Thunderbolts, at least in the comics. Just Fernie, thank you so much for being here. Hope all's going well with you. Fernie, I need to get a hold of you, bro. We need. I think I want to do some business. Yeah. Magic and technology are one and the same. Yeah. See, Steve and T'Challa match each other. And the speed at which alluded to the powers both being from the herb. Yeah. Once they introduced T'Challa in the purple-shaped herb, I'm like, I'm willing to bet that Dr. Erskine just got a hold of the purple heart-shaped herb, or he just recreated its power. Because the power that the Infinity Stones had was recreatable anyway. Brian Mccann in the building. Yeah, well, I think Sentry being the villain in the Thunderbolts I think that'll only be the introduction of him, and he'll just be getting his powers. Like, we probably won't see the full extent of them, you know what I mean? We'll probably see that first time he breaks and they go out to stop him and they can't. And that's probably where it's going to end at. Nick Fury's accelerating, yeah. What if the Steve from the first Avengers film, who fought the Steve from Endgame, is the Steve in the next Captain America movie? Well, we don't know for sure that Steve's going to be in it. But, however, the Steve that you're talking about that would be in the branched version of the Battle of New York, where they fumbled the ball in getting the Tesseract, that right there, that's HydraCap. That's HydraCap that they, which is funny because you see him, earlier in the movie, he's like, hell, Hydra, and he goes and he gets the scepter, and then he goes and fights himself. That Steve is now HydraCap. That's where, I guarantee you, that's where HydraCap is going to come from, because they were sitting there fighting, and he goes, oh, Bucky's alive, and he's like, what? He goes, what? And then what's he do? He takes the scepter and he touches him with it. What did the scepter do when Loki touched the other people with it? It's HydraCap. I guarantee you, we're going to get HydraCap, and that is where that Captain America comes from. Now, however, that's a branch timeline, though. That whole timeline right there, yeah, it would have been a branch timeline. And we don't know if the TVA actually went in and took care of that. Did they trim that branch? Did they? I don't know. I'm trying to get some of Val's secret serum. Yeah. Sharon's power broker was lame. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't really believe that she ever was. Because, the only thing is, you see her having those conversations there, but then you see George St. Pierre, he showed up, and he's like, oh, so you're the power broker, huh? And, he just made an assumption, and she just went along with it. She never said she was, or anything like that. So I kind of don't feel like it really was her in the first place. I don't really feel like it was. I really feel like she was probably just being a double agent and playing the part. I feel like the power broker was somebody else. even when they did that in the show, I kind of felt like she didn't say she was. Like, and that's the thing about the MCU. Is people always doubted when I say this, but I'm telling you, they actually have to say it. They have to actually say it. It's how I was right about the Doctor Strange thing, not being the Sorcerer Supreme. They actually have to say it. And Jason Alexander motorboating him now. Yeah. Long life, stays healthy. Oh, the Infinity Formula? Val got the serum from Viper from the Wolverine movie. Crossover connection. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see how all that goes. Yeah. Romeo in the building. Yeah. So My Time to Shine Hello said it's not the Cat movie. When is he coming? Oh, what? Yeah, Ben Affleck and Dario Agger. That would be good. That'd be good. Yeah, Ben Affleck, Dario Agger. I'm down with that. Yes, the Super Soldier Serum is revealed to be Logan. To have Logan's blood in it in the comics. Oh, interesting. Silver Surfer is a full-on movie now, according to some scoopers. Yeah, and it should too. Yeah, and they're saying the Tiamat Island could be Genosha, and you know, there's some people saying yes, some people no. I don't know. We'll see. The Emerald Tablet sounds like a convoluted idea, just like the Darkhold making Wanda evil. Rahul, the Emerald Tablet. The Emerald Tablet is a real thing. Like supposedly a real thing. Like it's not an MCU thing. In the world, it's actually rumored to exist. It's an actual thing in the real world. It's not a comic thing. It's not like something it's not like something they made up for the movie or that they made up in the comic books. Like it's an actual thing in real life. Well, supposedly an actual thing in real life. And it is just a cryptic hermetic text that people believe in. It's a philosophy. What? Oh. Never mind. Dang, the chat just... Okay. I've given up on Marvel since No Way Home. Yeah, I mean, No Way Home made me want to give up on Marvel, too. You can't spell century without try. It'd be called Rainbow Surfer. No adamantium. No, just adamantium, not Wolverine. For what? Oh, you mean in Captain America? Well, didn't he say that he might make an appearance? And I would guess if he did, it'd just be a tease. It'd be like, oh, hey, here's this guy, and that's it. All light refracted off Silver Surfer would be rainbow, right? Yeah, it would, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's been a year since No Way Home came out. Yeah. Can't stand all these Gen Z references. Yeah. Yeah, and the Genosha thing as well. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out. Yeah, and James Jimenez still in the building. Okay, Aaron says, Trinity, so you're saying that Cersei could have transmutated the Eternal into a landmass that will later be used later on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Elric brothers have been looking, just saying. What? Okay, now. That doesn't mean. Get here, there we go. I had to refresh the chat. Hey, where'd it go? There we go. Here we are. Hit me up anytime. Yeah, for sure, Fernie. Did Scott ever give the box of healing particles to Isla Star? Maybe that's why she's a Thunderbolt and she never got them and went to General Ross for help. No, I don't think so. No, I think he helped her. I don't think she's going to General Ross though. Mm-hmm. His heart-shaped herb was used in Captain America's version of the Super Soldier Serum of Logan's blood. Yeah, could be. Mm-hmm. So Dr. Erskine recreated the power of the Tesseract for the Vita Ray chamber. No. He recreated the power. I would say if he didn't recreate the power of or essentially the Power Stone or the time or the Space Stone, yeah, it could be, or it could have been what was the purple one? The purple one was the Power Stone, wasn't it? Yeah, I think the purple one was the Power Stone, right? I kind of had a theory before that the purple stone landed on Earth, and that was the meteor that hit Wakanda, and that's how it enriched it, and that's why it was all purple. It was all color coded back in them days, and then it enriched the soil, and somebody came and took the stone and took it away because they already had because they probably already had the what's it called on Earth? The Tesseract. Yeah, hide cap, media thought. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Hoax, Scar, She-Hulk, Red Hulk, Lyra, Little Hulks. Hope they don't butcher all of them. Oh, I'm sure they will. I think she's working for the Power Broker. Yeah, I think she probably was. Yeah. Speaking of time branches, I will make a bet that Loki travels the time branch to Battle of New York during Endgame while the Hulk slept and hijacks Hulk's body. Yeah, you've been predicting that one for a while, Aaron. We'll see, man. Could happen. Can't believe King is that powerful with just technology. Yeah, man, he's got a lot going on. Yeah. Wait to see who they cast for these huge roles. Yeah, for sure. I'm too disappointed. Yeah. All right. Eternals 2 are going to be Judgment Day. Supposedly could all tie together well if executed properly. Yeah. Absolutely. It could. And I never read the comics. I didn't read the Judgment Day storyline, and it just ended recently. I enjoyed Morbius. The film stayed true to the comics. Bad CGI effects, though. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I subconsciously grind my teeth. I don't know. Recreated the heart-shaped herb using tech. Magic and tech are one and the same. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And really, I mean, recreating recreating the heart-shaped herb shouldn't be hard to do. And yeah. Now, red was the Reality Stone, not the one not in the comics, in the MCU, in the MCU. No, the red was the Reality Stone. The red one was the Reality Stone, because Peter Quill is the one that had the purple one, the purple stone. It was the Power Stone. The red one was the Reality Stone, because remember Thanos used it to change Nowhere when he was there. Yeah, Power Stone. Yeah. Purple power, yeah. Reality Stone was red. Yeah, exactly. See? Yeah. The Tesseract and the Space Stone are two different objects. The Tesseract contained the Space Stone, so it folded in on itself. Else the power would have expanded. Avengers 1 movie. The Tesseract and the Space Stone. Well, the Tesseract, yeah, it housed the Space Stone. Yeah. I wonder if King lost his way between universes when was looking for Kamal's powers to get home, but lost her because of Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. No. I didn't say. Well, that was the other thing I was getting ready to go into, is all part of this whole same theory with all this celestial tech as well, and it all ties into Kang also, and it actually even has to do with Tony Stark, and it actually even has to do with a lot of this technology, this celestial technology, if you will. But like, okay, I think this celestial technology, be it with the 10 rings and even the bangles, and like y'all even brought up earlier, was like those the 10 rings gave Wenwu, I mean, they let him live for forever. They granted him immortality, essentially, right? The 10 rings did. Now you take a look at those bangles. Here's the interesting thing. I was talking about this the other day. Is, okay, like, when it comes to Kang, we've already heard rumors that in Quantumania, he's basically mad at Janet Van Dyne because she trapped him in the quantum realm, just left him there stranded. And his time machine was broke, right? Now, I think that's very interesting because I was just reading through some West Coast Avengers and some things that happened in there and thinking about what's kind of gone on. And, like, obviously, if he got trapped in the quantum realm, obviously it's not Chronopolis. It's not outside of time, like where his normal place would be there in Limbo. So it's obviously not Limbo. But if he was stuck there by Janet Van Dyne and he needed her to help fix the machine, what does he essentially need? He needs technology, somebody that can fix the machine. Now, I was recently reading in the West Coast Avengers comic book, the West Coast Avengers actually had to go back in time. They were in a fight with I can't remember the guy's name all of a sudden, but they were in a fight, and this guy used a time machine and sent them back in time. But the time machine was broken, and it would only go backwards. It wouldn't go forward in time. So they got trapped back in like 1876. And they were there in the Old West, and they tried to fix it. They didn't have all the parts to be able to fix it, so they went back. They wanted to go back even further to see if they could get Kang to help them, who at the time was Pharaoh Rama-Tut. He was the only person who would be able to help them fix it. So they went back in time, and so they made one more jump back once they hit 1876. They made one more jump back just to test and make sure that it went back in time somewhat accurately. And so they did that, and then they went back in time the one last time to where they went into Egypt back in, like in the old days, which is very interesting because they ran into Rama-Tut. And it was a brief run-in with Rama-Tut, but we also know we've seen Rama-Tut teased in the Moon Knight series, right? So, the thing is, like, they needed parts, basically, to be able to get their time machine to move forward, back in time, so they could get back to their time. Now the thing is in the MCU, if Kang is stuck back in that time, if he's stuck there in the quantum realm, that means that he's obviously looking for a way to get out of there. If Janet was looking to help him or whatnot, it seems kind of obvious. Like, it's broken down and he can't fix it. He don't have the parts. And he would be looking for basically any means to get out of there, to go somewhere where he can get his technology fixed. And the thing is, like, I think this technology that he's utilizing to go back in time, you see his little time chair and everything, I think a lot of that is still partially based in the celestial technology. Now, the thing is, I think that he actually comes, like, similar to the comics, he comes from that future, which I think is going to be somewhat like, I mean, in the comics, it sounded very almost dystopian. There was no crime. Everything was kind of boring. And, like, he was watching all the adventures of the Avengers, you know, like, he'd seen all their adventures and everything, read up on it and all that shit. Like, he was excited about it, and he wanted that, you know. But He Who Remains, what he explained in the Loki show was that they were scientists, and they were, you know, eventually congratulating each other. They found a way to walk between different, throughout the multiverse and stuff like that. Now, we seen in Loki, he actually had a way to go back to, or to go into different timelines and stuff like that, which would essentially let them control where in time they went to go to. If they wanted to go back to a certain day in time, certain day, year, wherever they want to go, they can go with their little TemPads, right? Now, the thing is what were they doing at the TVA? The TVA, they weren't, how would you say? They were trimming the branches off these timelines. They weren't erasing anything. They weren't changing anything. They were maintaining the flow of time. Now, I would say mostly they couldn't do this because if it's something that's kind of already happened, it can't, you know, if it's something that already happened and it was supposed to happen according to the time, you know, how time was supposed to flow. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that, right? But they couldn't essentially change time. They were just trimming branches. If they could change time, they'd just go back and keep the variants from wandering off of their path and keep them going the right direction. But they didn't, and that's why they're variants. They did something they weren't supposed to do. Now, we've seen that they have their methods in what they do. And here's the thing. If you go back and you look and you watch Endgame, and they tell you exactly in Endgame how their time theory works, right? And how does their time theory work? How does their time theory work? You can't go back to the past. You can't go back and change your past, and because it won't affect your future, right? Because that past then becomes your future, right? Like, you get that? Like, it makes perfect sense, because, like, if you're going here, if you're here in time and you go back in time and you change something there, it won't affect your time where you came from. Once you go back there, it won't change that because it's already happened, right? It's already happened. Like, that's the full time. And they explain that in the movie perfectly well. It's already it's on this timeline. That you're here, you jump back to here, you change something, it doesn't change it here. Because you're here, you're already there without this thing happening here to know. Right? Like, it would be changed. It would essentially create a branch. It would have to. Right? So you can't go back into the past and change your past. That past then becomes your future. Now, that is with their time travel. Now, the interesting thing is the Mobius strip, and where Tony Stark kind of came up with this idea for his time travel GPS, which all still came from essentially the same thing that we got out of Ant-Man and the Wasp, where they had to pinpoint her exact location. Remember all of that? Like, I think they even said like a GPS signal, or like tracing a call. Like they said, like tracing a call, almost like the Matrix. But so like it all kind of goes hand in hand. The Mobius strip is some crazy interesting shit. But the thing is, we've seen in Loki season 1 how He Who Remains was sitting there waiting for, he got to that point, the threshold where they went beyond it. He's like, oh, like I don't know what's gonna happen now. He's like I knew it was gonna happen up to this point, but I don't know what's gonna happen now. Like something's changed. Something is different. But what changed and what was different? Now, if you take a look at it, like it's easy to make the mistake and be like, well, they got the Loki from the Battle of New York back in the day, so obviously it's that time. But the time is irrelevant there. They're outside of time, right? But something changed at this particular time in the show. And I believe what that thing is, I don't even think that it was necessarily Tony Stark creating his time-space GPS. I actually kind of think that if it wasn't Shang-Chi using the 10 rings for the first time, I think it was Ms. Marvel using those bangles. I think it was Ms. Marvel using the bangles, and here's why. They explained the rules of time travel. You can't go back to the past. You can't go back to the past and change the past to change your future, because that past already happened. So you can't change what's already happened. You can't change what's already happened, right? You can't. Now, the thing is, I know somebody's gonna say, because I think somebody brought it up the last time I was talking about the same thing, is like, well, Steve Rogers went back, right? Steve Rogers went back and stayed with Peggy. Right? But he didn't change anything. Right? He didn't change anything. The only thing he did was went from his timeline, where he was at. The only thing he did was, if they were traveling time right, is he went from where he was at, he went back in time to his past, right? He went back in time to his past. He didn't change anything. He went and stayed with Peggy, right? He went and stayed with Peggy. Now, however, you're thinking like, well, he changed it. We don't know who Peggy was involved with or anything that happened before. Now, it's not changing his past, because he would have been frozen in the ice for 75 years, right? So he didn't change his past, but he also didn't change Peggy's either. Because by him going back and just staying with Peggy, for all she knows, he could have been the exact same Steve Rogers that went down in the Valkyrie ship. That could have been the same. He could have never told her that he actually was frozen in the ice in the middle of the water at that point. He could have just told her, like, hey, look, I managed to live. And she's like, oh, we all thought you were dead, you know. And he'd be like, look, I just want to lead a low profile. Like, this shit's getting crazy. Because if people know that I'm here, and the super soldier serum and all this stuff, it'll severely change and affect the world. Something he already knows, right? So if he just goes back in time, and that's what they were doing. They were going back in time. They weren't mingling with anything. They were going to go put the stones back and everything, so nothing was changed. That was their plan. If he went back in time instead with Peggy, nothing changes. We don't know that Peggy wasn't married to him or anybody else. And for all we know, he could have went back and just told her that I'm Steve, I'm still alive, and I just escaped, and I don't want, like, let them think I'm dead. Let them think I'm dead. And he never changes anything. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't create a branch or anything. She never knows. He doesn't have to tell her. It doesn't change anything. So he essentially didn't change the past if he went back and stayed with Peggy. He didn't create a branch or anything like that. Everything would have been just smooth going. The only thing is, at some point, there would have basically been 2 Steves in the world. And I think that's completely possible. Now, I think what changed in that future for He Who Remains is the fact that time travel actually happened. I believe what Kang is actually in search of is not only to get his machine built and fixed by Janet Van Dyne, and that's why he got stuck there. But I believe that one of the things he was actually doing was, if it's anything like the comics, it seems like it might have been somewhat of a dystopian type of future where he was, bored in and seeing all this shit from him, and he wanted to go back. I believe his thing was he wanted to find a way to actually go back and change time. And the way you do that is he needs those bangles. Because those bangles, as we've seen in the Ms. Marvel show, actually change time. We've seen Kamala Khan go into her past and saved her grandmother and made sure she got on that train. Her grandmother knew it was her. She went back and changed not even just her past. She went back and changed her family fucking history. Actually changed it. It wasn't none of that branch reality, nothing. She actually changed it because growing up, her mother and even she heard the stories about the Trail of Stars and all of that bullshit. That shit actually happened. It was stories her grandmother fucking told in this timeline. And Kamala Khan went back in time and saved her fucking grandma with the Trail of Stars and went back. And I think that's the thing that's different. And I think what Kang is after is actually looking for the way to actually change time, which they weren't able to do in Endgame without creating a branch reality. That's not what the TVA did. They didn't do that either. I think what Kang is after is actually looking for a way to change time. And I believe there's the rumors too with Loki season 2 about the time loom and Sylvie and a lot of that's where a lot of like Secret Wars basically going to be happening with all the divergent fucking timelines and all that shit branching off and going crazy. That's all interconnected, and I believe that shit is all celestial tech as well. It's all related. It's all related. It's all related. Whew. It's a lot, though. That's a lot. But let's see what you guys are saying. Loving the stream, but I got to bounce. All right, have a good one, Daniel Fisher. Thank you so much for being here. Did I like Moon Knight? It was okay. I mean, like, none of the shows are great. None of the MCU shows are great. Like, they're, for one, they're TV shows. I'm not really into TV anyway, so that's why I won't put too much stock into them, but it was okay. The worst part about it was that enchanted suit. Trinity, was it you saying that maybe Tony traveled time and met Kang? No, but I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. The Return of the Sham. Yeah. Wonder if Kang lost his way between universes and he was looking for Kamala's powers to get home, but lost her because of Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's the one I read. The Bengals have similar power to the Space Stone. Not exactly. Very different. Because the Space Stone was letting him travel through space instantaneously, not through time. It was letting him travel through space. A celestial check used by the High Evolutionary as well. I would think so. Because the High Evolutionary, I think, would probably, obviously, at some point have something to do with the mutants, and obviously all of that's going to tie in together as well. I think it was very interesting too, because Kang's suit looks like it's very Tony Stark inspired. Looks like it's very Iron Man inspired. Quantum Realm did have a city inside. Wonder what that city was. Well, I was gonna say that, and that's where they were staying at, was in that little quantum city. But I'm not sure what. I mean, it's obviously not Chronopolis, but I guess it could be. I guess it could be Chronopolis, but he's stuck there, which is what makes me think that it's not. But yeah, they definitely did have that city in there. Disney wants to do avatars of God's concept: Moon Knight, Scarlet Scarab, Black Panther, Namor, Iron Fist, among others. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yep. King wants Scott. King wants Scott because Scott escaped the quantum realm, and I think Scott escaped because of his willpower harnessed the power of quantum realm. Scott basically bent the quantum realm to his will. Yeah, it could be. It could be. Even though really all he did was switch the discs and then a little belt, and then he punched it, and it made him big again. But it could be. Too dissimilar to Ned with his need to find Peter and a solution to the problem at hand, bent the power of the sling ring to his will. Not dissimilar to Zeus showing Thor how to bend power to Thor's. Yeah. Not dissimilar to Thor teaching the children to subdue the power at their will. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, totally. Scott got out by accident. Well, no. He had the blue disc. He used the blue disc. He used the blue pin particles instead of the red ones. There are no accidents, just cause and effect. Something always happens for one reason or another. Yeah. Hope Hank Pym plays an important role in the future of the MCU. Yeah, he should, man. I'm telling you, Hank Pym is huge in the comics. And yeah. He did a lot of shit. A rat walked over the switches. Yeah. Oh, you mean when he escaped the quantum realm that time? Yeah. I thought you meant when he escaped the quantum realm the first time, like in the first Ant-Man movie. Yeah. It's like saying everything in reality was a huge accident. Right. Yeah. Well, Agent Venom and Agent Anti-Venom get Joe in from the 2002 era Spider-Man films to reprise his role as Flash Thompson. Yeah, that would be great. Joe Manganiello. Yeah. That'd be great. YouTube hosts suck. Trinity doesn't count. Haha. What's up, Air Spider? Thank you so much for being here. We're all walking over controls was a symbology of Disney saving Marvel from going under. Yeah, but it has nothing to do with Scott bending quantum realm to his will. Yeah. He could have had a kid with Peggy. He could have. I mean, nobody said they didn't have kids, but the thing is, is it really changing her past? I mean, yeah. Too far-fetched for my taste. Well, I think that's what I mean. I don't know. Just from what I say, I think that's what they're doing. This entire Steve and Peggy thing is the epitome of stoner speak. Well, no. It's time travel. It's time travel speak, man. It's time to. You don't know about just because you're. Just because you're not smart enough or sophisticated enough to understand time travel doesn't mean there were a bunch of stoners, dickhead. But maybe we are too. Thank you so much for being here, Air Spider. Hallmark movies isn't far-fetched. Well, yeah. Peggy still joins S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, exactly. We have to stop reaching for a sense of real-world reality for these movies. Yeah, absolutely. It's truly not based in real reality. Yeah. If I've learned anything, the original leaks are almost always right, and nobody's theories are ever correct. Well, my theories are fucking right, man. My theories are right, and they've been right, and it's playing out from the leaks right now, okay? It's playing out from the leaks right now that my theories were right, and they're being proven right each day as we spin on this earth. My theories are being proven right. They're being proven right. What do you want me to say? King wants to walk it back. So the Marvels are going to be really important with the Bengals. I think so. There's going to be some importance. There's going to be some importance for sure. Those Bengals are very fucking important. I guarantee it. Yeah. Eternals 2 might lead to Secret Wars. Yeah, it could. But I wonder where was Carol when She switched places with Kamala. Yeah. Yeah. I'm interested in that too. Woman getting Dixie's in the building. Woman getting arrested by TVA and Loki looked like Peggy. Yeah. Yep. Sure did. Just because we're a bunch of stoners doesn't make us a bunch of stoners. Right. Yeah. But yeah. Well, I mean, that could have been Peggy from any timeline that was there, as a variant. But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Trent's theories are wrong. Probably floating. No, I guarantee you they're not. Look, I'm telling you, my theory about fucking Cersei was right. My fucking goddamn theory about Cersei was right, and I'm telling you, it was right. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be jealous because you're not as fucking great as I am. It's okay. You can be my hater. You can be my hater. You can be my hater, Rahul. You can be my hater. Wrong. You can be my hater. You can be the next Aglax. You're like is Aglax still here? Is that Oh, that's funny. No, I'm right though. I'm right. It's all good though. Because like here in Rahul, my other prediction about James Gunn taking over the DC, I was fucking right about that too. I called that shit 2 fucking years ago. I called it. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. This is where you need to go for all your nerdy, fucking great nerdy theories. This is where you go. Fuck strange Marvel theories. Fuck Josh over the Denim Nerds. Fuck everybody. Fuck them all. Even Colty. Fuck him. No, I'm just kidding. Not fuck Colty. Colty's all right. Like, yeah, Josh is okay too. All right. Fuck. God damn it. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay, Aaron's all right too. Aaron's okay. Aaron's all right. And you're okay too. Rahul. You're all right, man. You're all right. Trent steals. I'm still theories. People steal mine. What are you talking about? Eric Voss literally came and jacked my shit. And Josh is going to steal some of them too, but he said he was going to. He asked permission. Josh asked permission to steal my theories, and I was like, all right, it's cool. It's cool. Actually, I told him the other day, I'm like, hey, dude, we need to get together and chop it up about some theories. Let me feed you some shit, man, because I'm telling you, there's some shit. I called the Eternals thing. I called the thing and the thing and the thing and the thing. I called it all. Like Kevin Feige basically might as well just fucking hire me to be like their idea guy, and they can just get some writers to write down my ideas and go with them. Maybe he can get Marcus and McFeely back and me, and we'll get all 3 of us together and we'll come up with the fucking next saga. We're gonna start making fucking $2 billion a movie, maybe 10, minimum. Every movie is $2 billion. We're gonna just smash fucking records every goddamn time. Man, life is good. Oh, wait. Sorry. Peggy dated Sherlock Holmes. Watching the film. What? Oh man. I pride myself on theories, and Trinity trumped a lot of my theories. Oh man. Okay, Dick. Oh, definitely don't listen to that Rob dude from Comics explaining his silly Wikipedia reading ass. Oh man, damn, Air Spider, that's messed up. What you got against Rob? Why you not like Rob? You just don't like his buttery smooth voice, do you? So I'm still good to come up with theories because when it comes to anime, I'm a time traveler. I really predict everything, and then okay. All right. Is it just because it's too predictable? Maybe that's what it is with the MCU too. So when is the Thing coming into it? Well, the Thing's obviously coming in the Fantastic Four movie. I mean, there's 4 of them. Duh. Come on. Come on. Ah! Ah! You can give me a harder one than that. You can give me a harder one than that. Did you know that Hawkeye actually created some of Moon Knight's weapons? Yeah, Clint Barton actually created some of Moon Knight. Somebody was telling me that in one of the streams as well. God, was that Jamie from J Hood? J Hood Creative, I think. Was telling me that Hawkeye actually, I think it was him in one of the streams one time saying that like Hawkeye actually created some of Moon Knight's weapons, and it was, yeah. Hawkeye actually created fucking some of Moon Knight's weapons. You were saying thing. That's why I said, oh yeah, the Thing from the Thing. Yeah, the Thing. Yeah. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Tony Stark and FB Dumbledore playing detectives together. Oh, yeah. I never watched that one. I never seen Sherlock. I never watched it. I probably should. Rob is too much now. I'd be watching his videos and be like, shush. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it gets like that. Like I was thinking about starting my own Comics Explained kinda here on the channel because I want to go back through. I want to summarize and talk about some of the West Coast Avengers books that I've been reading because the West Coast Avengers books have been fucking great, man. But then I want to do that for a lot of stuff because like that was one of the things like I noticed with like Rob's shit when he goes in and talks about him. Like Comic Storian is a little bit different. Comic Storian does his shit. I haven't watched enough Comic Storian, but I know he does his shit different from Rob. But Rob goes through there like he doesn't like he'll do story arcs and shit, but like he's not sitting there like you go to his channel and look for something about West Coast Avengers, you're not gonna fucking find it. You'll find stuff about Wanda, you might find stuff about Vision, you might find stuff about some of the different characters, but you don't see him like Comics Explained, the West Coast Avengers. You just don't have it. Matter of fact, when I actually looked up West Coast Avengers shit, like kind of explaining shit about the West Coast Avengers on YouTube, the last time I looked, couldn't find fucking nothing. Nothing. Like there was people, talking about, they picked up like their comic hauls or, just like certain little things here and there, but nothing like a Comics Explained kind of thing, kind of explaining exactly what was going down in the plot and shit. So I was like, maybe I need to do that. Maybe I need to fill that gap. Or maybe somebody else has done it and they're just very fucking bad at tags and tagging and gaining authority and that kind of stuff too. Maybe so, but I don't know. I can tell he doesn't know what he's talking about and reading most of his content from other sources. It could be some, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's writing scripts and, bad editing. I don't know. Speaking of the Fantastic Four, how about the gamma energy from the blip created the cosmic storm that gives the Fantastic Four their powers? It could be. Yeah. Wasn't it Hawkeye using Ant-Man stuff in the Hawkeye series? Hawkeye did use some. He used some Pym tech in the Hawkeye series. Yeah, he did. He used some Pym tech. 'Twas the theory. It creates mutants as well. What will it be? Oh, what do you mean? Oh, you mean about the... Are you talking about like the snap? Fill it up. What are we filling up? Rob can't explain comics to me. Right? You tell him, Air Spider. Comics explaining Rob. Dude doesn't actually read the comics. I've talked to him before. Anything pre-2012, he doesn't know at all. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. He's talked about some of them. I haven't really done a deep dive and watched a bunch of his videos. I've only watched some of them here and there. I've only watched some here and there. It was more Hawkeye got tech ideas from Hank Pym himself. As far as what like Hawkeye was using Pym tech in the Hawkeye series. Council of Kangs versus Council of Reeds. That'd be pretty crazy. Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. Council of Kangs versus Council of Reeds. Ooh, and then should we get a Council of Dooms too? Ooh, ooh. Oh, sorry. Versus Council of Ricks. You mean Rick Jones? That'd be pretty cool. I know you're talking about Rick Jones. Yeah. That's my point, Brian. You to tell after a few videos. Yeah. Yeah, as I say, I haven't really watched enough of his stuff. Yeah. But yeah, no, I've thought about doing that. What's the ground MCU gonna do? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think the thing is like they're obviously gonna have to deal with a lot of the cosmic attacks and shit like that, and that's where obviously they're gonna have to come up with better weapons and technology to be able to keep up. Yeah, and mutants. With all the bombastic shit going on. Yeah. No, I hear you. Well, I don't know, man, because like if they could do Spider-Man right, Spider-Man himself is fucking interesting as shit. You know, I watch Spider-Man movies all day if they could just do it right. They just did Council of Dooms in the comics. Oh, did they? Nice. Yeah. What did the energy from using the glove actually cause? Yeah. Good point. Yeah. Build Kingpin as the main villain. Kingpin being built up would be good. Like, there's so much they could do. Because, like, if you think about it, like, in the MCU, as far as, like, all the comic book characters and all the shit that they have and all the stories and shit, like, they really haven't even done anything in the MCU if you think about it. You know, like, if you think about all the storylines they've got and everything, they haven't really even done shit in the fucking movies. Like, they could go on for fucking decades. They could. T-Rev, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well. Think we get World Mind Nova. That, I don't know. I don't even know anything about that. Trev. Yeah, and I don't really know much about it. I can't really say that I've read a whole lot of Nova books. I can't say that I have. Yeah. Yes, it will be said that gamma radiation catalyzed the X gene in X gene carrying people. Sebastian Shaw. Yeah. That makes sense. They can just do what they do in the books, and half the city ignores the current story. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that'd be the cool thing is if they just did what they did in the comics. I mean, it's completely doable, right? I meant Rick from Rick and Morty. Oh, okay. Rick. Yeah, I don't do none of that silly stuff. I thought you meant Rick Jones. I thought you meant Rick Jones. Yeah. All the bombastic shit is still the ground MCU is where it's at. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the ground is more interesting just because like I really, if you think about it, like when it comes to all the ground shit, especially by the time you get mutants in there and the struggle with all of that bullshit, like it's the human struggle anyway. You know what I mean? Just watching that is interesting because, I mean, that's essentially all we've really gotten in the MCU so far. I mean, we've gotten a little bit of cosmic shit, but most of it's all ground level kind of shit. And it's like, it's compelling. You know, it's compelling. Nova equals Hal Jordan. There was an arc where Richard Rider is the last Nova and he has all the Nova power. Similar to when Hal became Parallax and Zero. Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that sounds like it could be cool. I assume Rick is the old guy. See, and I thought Morty was the old guy. I don't know. Spider-Man, Daredevil, Punisher, Ghost Rider, Blade. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, look, in the MCU, we don't even have. Okay, we've seen Daredevil. We don't even have Punisher. We don't even have Ghost Rider. We don't even have Blade in the MCU. We don't even have these characters yet. We don't even have them yet. We don't even have any of the X-Men. We don't even have the Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? Like it's like really in the MCU, they just got the tip of the iceberg. That's it. They haven't got shit. We haven't even got the New Mutants. We haven't even got Magic. I would love it if they brought Anya Taylor-Joy back as Magic. That'd be fucking great, man. And I don't know what it is about Magic. I just like Magic. There's just something about any of the stories I've read with Magic. Like, Magic's just pretty fucking cool. Could be. Really fucking cool. Street level heroes are more interesting, in my humble opinion. Anything over Spider-Man and Riders. Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, because it's like I said, it's kind of dealing with the human struggle, right? Guessing it was Doc and Marty. Right. There you go. It should be the front and center of the MCU. Yeah, they should. Yeah. I only know Rick James bit. Yeah. Oh man. Is New Mutants watchable? I think it's watchable. I mean, I wouldn't watch it with high expectations of anything, and I didn't watch it with high expectations, but I thought it was okay. I mean, I've seen more. Like, I think it's better than the Venom movies. Yeah. The fact that we don't have any of that is good. They should slow down a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Should they? I think they just need to keep going. The thing is, they actually need to do like the comics do and make it, or used to do, and make it good. Quality. Yeah. Kidding. Rick Jones, best friend from Bruce Banner. Yeah. Feige said MCU Punisher is Netflix Punisher for now, until and if they change things. Yeah. Well, yeah. He said a lot of things too. Yeah. That guy lies through his teeth. I want Peter to meet the Defenders' friendly neighborhood New York. Yeah. Feige said MCU. Oh yeah. Recast Iron Fist. Yeah. Recast Iron Fist. Absolutely. New Mutants wasn't rough toilet paper. No, it wasn't. Gotta go to bed. All right, man. Take it easy, Trev. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah. If I can stop and hear all the theories you have, though briefly, we should have a brainstorm more. Yeah, we should. I was telling Josh that too. Like, we need to get together and fucking brainstorm some shit and come up with something, some good scripts for theory videos. Cancel all Disney Plus and we'll be Gucci. Yeah, like I said, I don't put too much stock in the shows. Like, they're all right. They're all right. I'm not gonna hold it too much against them. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. We've been going here for what, about 2 hours now? I think it's been about 2 hours. We've been going now for about 2 hours now, I think. It's been an hour and 20 minutes. An hour and 20 minutes since we returned. So yeah, for sure. All right, yeah. Rahul says down for a community stream for sure. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done one. Definitely need to get one going again sometime soon. But anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you all so much for being here, guys. I may do a stream tomorrow. Hard to say. It's New Year's Eve. You guys, be safe out there if you're gonna go out and party or do anything. Make sure you don't drink and drive, man. It's totally not fucking worth it. Take it from somebody who did plenty of fucking drinking and driving in their time. Got a DUI and all that bullshit back in the day. Just don't do it. It's not worth your time. It's not worth anything else that could possibly happen. Go out and have a good fucking time. If you are doing that and having a good fucking time, make sure you call somebody else. Get a ride. Do something. There's absolutely no excuse for it in this fucking day and age. But you all be good. Have a good day. Have a great rest of your night. Have a good New Year's if I don't see you by then. And if I don't, I guess I'll see you in the new year. You all have a good one, and we'll see you then. Later.